Hello everyone, this is Geeves, and today we're doing another Life is Feudal video, and what I'm talking about today is a tutorial on the idea of quality. Um, right now in its alpha stage, quality either means one or two things. It's either going to increase the durability of items, so your damage isn't going to go up depending on the quality. Um, Instead, the durability will go up. So the higher the quality, the longer the durability. So if you look at my primitive axe, that has a 50 quality, it has a higher durability than my knife, which has a 41 quality. And let's see if I got something that's real shit quality. There we go. My primitive saw over here. Fucking move over. My primitive saw over here has 23 quality and therefore a lower durability. Now, it doesn't really matter if a weapon, for example, has a monstrously high durability, or sorry, quality, or a low quality, it's still going to do the same damage. So keep that in mind when it comes to weapons. You don't have to wait to use the ultimate best weapon. You can actually come out with the very first weapon that you craft, and it's going to use the exact same, or going to do the exact same damage. Then something that has 100 quality or something like that. You also notice it's the same for the types of equipment you use. Here's the funny thing as well. A primitive saw will saw at exactly the same speed as a steel saw. Speed of doing actions is actually affected by the skill and not the type of tool you use. So you can have a primitive saw, or you can have an iron saw. It doesn't. Oh, fuck! I'm pressing the wrong buttons. It doesn't really matter. The only thing that's going to change is the durability. So the steel saws or the iron saws or whatever that might be, like the higher equipped saws, are going to have a much longer durability than a primitive saw does. Also, you can recycle the higher end equipment that you can't with the primitive ones. They just become useless items you have to throw away. But keep that in mind, is that you don't need to have the highest quality equipment in order to do a faster job. This all comes down to the skills. The higher the skill, the faster you're going to do that job, regardless of what kind of tool you use. Now, quality really does make a difference when it comes to building things, and mostly when it comes to trees. This is the biggest one that I find that quality is really affected. Trees and actually food. The higher the quality of the food, the better, or the more the food is going to increase your food meter over here. And also, I find that the higher quality of food, now I might be wrong on this, but the higher quality of the food, the slower that food meter goes down. So those are things to keep an eye on. Higher quality of food, the faster, or the more of this fucking hunger meter you're going to fill up. I had a 1 quality apple once, didn't even touch my my like food meter. I don't even know what hunger meter. That's right. That's the one that I was talking about. Hunger meter. So, high quality food, the better. Trees. These are the big ones. I want to talk about this. When you're building stuff, you're going to need a lot of boards. You're going to need a lot of billets. You're going to need a lot of shit like that, right? Uh, Building logs, that kind of stuff. And the higher quality of the trees, the more of these you're going to get from a tree, from the raw resource, right? This one right here, your estimated quality is 86. So your quality is going to be anywhere from 0 to 100, right? I don't think there's a 0 actually, 1 to 100. The higher ones will also give more barks and branches and sprouts and shit like that. Maybe not sprouts, but for sure barks and branches. Not that you ever need bark the way that life is feudal is right now. I think you need bark to make a cup. I don't even fucking know, right? It's just some useless shit. So, in order to find the quality of a tree, you run up to it like so, you right click it, you go down to forestry, inspect a tree. And once you're done inspecting it, it'll tell you the quality. So this is quality of 6. So if I were to cut down this elm tree, and I were to cut off some billets or some boards or some construction logs or whatever, building logs out of this tree, I'm going to get less of it due to the quality. So quality does make is a big deal when it comes to trees, and it's a big deal when it comes to food. I find that everything else just tends to be, you know, whatever. I can get away with it. But trees and food, those are the big ones. And that's, I think, all I have to say about quality. If you like this video, please hit the like button. If you like all my videos, please subscribe. And if you find any different results when it comes to quality, please put it in the comments below. Thanks for watching. Keeves out. Bye-bye.